Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another daily devotion here at Woodlawn Christian Church in Lake City, Iowa. I'm Pastor Roy Carlin, and today we are going to be getting into the 11th chapter of Matthew's Gospel. Now, this devotion is being recorded to broadcast on the morning of Tuesday, April 19th of 2022. And we are in, again, Matthew chapter 11. We're going to look at verses 1 to 6. Now, we just got done with chapter 10 yesterday. Chapter 10, Jesus is spending his time. He has selected the 12 apostles, the sent ones, and he's sending them out. But much of chapter 10 is him giving them these warnings and giving them instructions. A lot of it is that the world's going to come after you. I'm sending you to do a good thing, the best thing ever done, the greatest thing ever done, perhaps. And the world always comes after you if you do start doing good things. And so the world's going to really come after you guys. Be prepared, be aware, and be prepared. So chapter 11 is a change of scene. We're going to change directions here. So let's jump into chapter 11 of Matthew's Gospel, verses 1 through 6. Now, when Jesus had finished instructing his 12 disciples, he went on from there to teach and proclaim his message in their cities. When John heard in prison what the Messiah was doing, he sent word by his disciples and said to him, "Are you the one who is to come, or are we to wait for another?" Jesus answered him, "Go and tell John what you hear and see. The blind receive their sight, the lame walk, the lepers are cleansed, the deaf hear, the dead are raised, and the poor have good news brought to them. And blessed is anyone who takes no offense at me." All right. Well, part of that is, remember, Jesus talked about the division and the sword and anything. I think there's a little bit of a flashback to that in the blessed is anyone who takes no offense at me. I think there's a little bit of a flashback to that division point that we made in chapter 10. But here Jesus is quoting scripture. He is referring to Isaiah, and this references to Isaiah 29, what we call Isaiah 29. In Jesus' day, they didn't break it up into chapters and verse back then. Parts of Isaiah 29, parts of Isaiah 35, and parts of Isaiah 61. So he's kind of covering a good portion of Isaiah there, or pulling from a good portion of Isaiah there. And that's what's going on with that. Go and tell John what you hear and see, the blind receiving their sight, the lame walking, the cleansing of the lepers are cleansed, and the deaf hear, and the dead are raised, and the poor have good news. That's all part of Isaiah. So Matthew, of course, is all about, he's the most Jewish, as we've said many times throughout this series on Matthew. And here he is again meeting prophecy. Matthew's all about showing that Jesus is meeting the prophecies of the Old Testament. He is an Old Testament kind of guy, and that's what he's got going on here. And so Jesus is hitting, a lot of it's in Isaiah that he's fulfilling, of course, and here we're covering Isaiah. But the question is often brought to our minds in our day, how could John be questioning who Jesus was? Well, there's a couple of reasons for that. One of the reasons it's thrown up that I don't really care for is that John understood who Jesus was, but some of his disciples weren't so sure and were maybe backsliding a little bit. And so he sends them to Jesus so that Jesus can reinforce their conviction. I'm not sure about that one. I don't really, I suppose, possibly. I think the more so what we've got going here is just like everybody else, just like all the other disciples, right up to the garden scene, for crying out loud. Peter, now we're in Matthew, and it doesn't identify Peter as the one in the garden that pulls his sword, but it does in John. If Peter pulls out his sword and lobs off the ear, he was expecting a violent revolution, wasn't he? He was thinking Jesus was going to bring in a legion of angels to wipe out the Roman Empire, or at least to drive them out of Israel. And probably John's, unfortunately, of the same mind. Everything he understood was that there was going to be this great time of war. The war scrolls were one thing. If he is in a scene, which most, or I should say many, not most, many believe he was in a scene, if that's the case, he definitely believed in a coming time of this calamity, when the violence would break out, and through that, God would cleanse the earth of these oppressors, these evil ones, the Romans. And so perhaps he's starting to wonder, I know I saw these things that, I baptized, John the Baptist, I baptized the guy, for crying out loud. But maybe he's starting to wonder about that. Or could it just be that he's falling victim to what some of us can fall victim to, and something that we can relate to, and that is that we have times when our faith ebbs and flows. We it'd be nice that it was or like this, our faith. Well, I think our faith is more like this, and hopefully it's angling up. But there are times when it up dips and wanes, for want of a better word. I think that's more likely what's going on here. Just knowing human nature, probably some of both, really, to be honest. Um, but we can relate to that because in our lives, our faith, our understanding, our focus on Jesus can wax and wane, as they say. And we need to keep coming back and looking at this. And this verse helps us in our waxing and waning. For here Jesus is showing and telling us, I'm fulfilling the prophecy. This is what the prophet Isaiah wrote in, or Isaiah's, because it's probably multiple authors in Isaiah, wrote to tell you about the coming Messiah. And I'm fulfilling those roles. I am the Messiah. And so this is where we can gain our own faith. We understand that even John had moments of questioning. And so we should be able to take solace from that. We should be able to take reassurance from that, for want of a better word again. And I think that's helpful to us, that we can look and say, okay, I feel bad about that. How could I have questioned? Well, even John questioned. Even the disciples didn't understand who Jesus was until after the resurrection. So with that, that's where we have, I think, in these first few verses. We'll pick up at verse 7 tomorrow, and Jesus is going to start talking about John the Baptist. So at that, let you go for tonight. Have a blessed day. And please, 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 as I always say, be a blessing to someone today. If you do like our devotions, I would ask if you'd like to like and subscribe. We'd love to have you here with us more often. And if you have any comments, nice comments, please be nice and kind. Please make those as well. All right. Have a very blessed day. And as I said, be a blessing to someone today. We'll see you in the morning. Bye-bye.